Hello everyone. I welcome you all once again in my this chapter, that is Manu paper second BA part first, and we are going to study in this video about the formation of Council of Ministers according to Manu, that how a king should form or his Council of Ministers. What is the process of formation of Council of Ministers according to Manu? The king has to run his government in a consultative manner. He cannot be arbitrary or authoritarian. Uh, the state matters should not be decided by the king alone. He may be expert in all the sciences or well versed in policy making. Still, he must follow the opinion of the members of the council, that is, adhikaris or ministers with portfolio. Here, Manu says that. Manu denies the arbitrary system or dictatorship or such kind of a system in a state where a person or king or ruler occupies all the powers and uses these powers arbitrarily. Therefore, Manu says that there is need of a council of ministers or some advisors who will give advice, who will give advice to the king, and this will be their duty to control the to have the control over the king, so that he may not use his powers arbitrarily. Although no matter how knowledgeable or how expert in everything he is, these are called adhikaris or ministers with portfolios. Next one is the king should consult with ministers separately, then uh, all of them together in the council. All the business was to be left for execution in the hands of a prime minister or chancellor. There should be at least 7 or 8 ministers as the need be. In the seven organs, Manu uses the word Amatya, but as where he uses the word Sachiv and not minister, perhaps Amatya is the chief of Sachivas or ministers. In this paragraph, we can see two most important points. First one is the procedure of consultation, how the king will consult with his council of ministers. The full process has been given by the Manu, that first of all the king will consult separately with each minister, and after this, when this work will be done, then he will have a meeting of his council of ministers, and all the ministers will be there, and here decision will be taken collectively. And second one is the number of ministers. Number of ministers according to Manu, it is 7 or 8, but he does not insist on this number, and he says that this number should be there, like 7 or 8 ministers, but the number can be increased according to the need or according to the time. Means the king can appoint more than 7 or 8 ministers according to the need or circumstances, and he uses the word Sachiva and Amatya. And next one is, in the Varn system, there is Brahmin Kshatriya collusion. In this manner, governing is in the Kshatriya's hands, who have to act according to the advice rendered by Brahmins, as the king rules as per uh, perceptions of the dharma. He has to appoint only Brahmin ministers. He does not assert to have only Brahmin ministers, but he emphasized on it. A Varna system today, in today's at present time we do not too much talk or about think even about the one system, or it may be that some people do not accept this, but we are talking about Indian ancient times, that the time when Manu was there, and for Manu one system was prevailed in the society, and Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Shudras were there, and he has said that Brahmins are the most suitable person or class of the society for the post or position of the council of ministers. So as far as appointment for council of ministers is concerned, Brahmi should be appointed, but he does not emphasize, or he fully does not say that only Brahmins are capable for this post, but he asserted that first and foremost position will be Brahmins for the post of minister. Government is advised by Manu to run on departmental basis, and departments have to be organized on the basis of expertise. One such minister is to be in charge or head of that department. Each department has senior and junior officials. Here comes the portfolio or departmental system, which we can see in today's time. And Manu has suggested his king that he should run his government on departmental basis, and not only on departmental basis, but expertization should also one essential element of his government, like portfolio of such type of economic field, if economic department of financial such like thing we are talking about, that then a person who knows, who has knowledge of economics or financial things or aspects will be appointed as minister for that department. This is the specialization or expertization while talking about departmental basis. And next one is each department has senior and junior officials, and most important thing, according to Manu, the place and time of consultation with the ministers must be kept secret. Even birds should not be allowed to reach there, so that principle of secrecy can be implemented well. That's all from my side for today. Thank you very much.